afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am happy in welcoming you all for the 582nd meeting of Medley Toastmasters Club. So I am Sharanya. I'll be playing the role of Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and a positive learning environment in which every member gets an opportunity to improve their communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. In every Toastmasters meeting, we follow 3 ground rules. Rule number 1 is please maintain silence throughout the meeting. If you're not talking, please go on mute. If you wanted to move around, please turn off your video. Rule number 2 is please avoid taboo topics such as sex, religion, and politics. Rule number 3, in every Toastmasters meeting, all the members are expected to join the meeting in a formal attire. So please do join the meeting in a formal attire. With this, I would like to hand it over to the presiding officer for today's meeting. It is none other than the president of our club, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas Abraham, sir. A small introduction about him. So he is a former special director and a corporate communication with Ashok Leyland, and he is also a senior vice president with Hinduja Group. With this, I would like to hand it over to Toastmaster Thomas Abraham. Over to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. We now have a couple of guests. We've already had a chat, so I think we will have further discussions with them in the second section. In which case, we will take this forward. Since we have started on time, let's keep abreast of time. Have you thought about this? Rather, have you heard about this? The winter was coming on, and the chief of Eskimos asked the only school-going boy to check on what the weather bureau is saying. So the boy checked and said, yeah, winter is going to be cold. So the chief said, cut more timber, stock up. So they started talking up. After a week, the chief again asked this boy, hey, what do the weather bureaus say? He checked up and said, they say it's going to get colder. Okay, so stock up. So they got into the logging activity. Third week, the same thing happened. Then the local councillor, he noticed this heavy activity of logging. So he called up the weather bureau and asked, what's the prospect? So weather bureau said, this time is going to get really cold. So he asked, why do you say that? Is it some Arctic oceanic currents or the wind, or what is it? He said, don't ask me all that. These Eskimos have been stocking up for the last 1 month as never before. And they know it when it gets cold. They know it in the bones. So that's how the weather bureau predicted it's going to be cold based on the activities of the Eskimos who stepped up their activity based on the predictions of the weather bureau. Now, so much for opinions that we hear from people. I'm saying this very conscious of the fact that all of us are here on an improvement journey. So we are all ears for other people's opinions. But to keep an open mind, we need to at times go easy on other people's opinions. There is a difference between facts. There's a difference between fact and opinions. So if you hear somebody saying, hey, do it like this, do it like that, get a second opinion. Don't get swayed. Don't get swayed. Because I've seen it happening. I was myself prey to it some time back. So it's a little like, everybody is not a Mark Brown, isn't it? Mark Brown is that famous guy who does the Usain Bolt style. And everybody is not a Vadivelu either. And I'm so happy. So therefore, my thought to you for the day is, as we are all on an improvement journey, keep your eyes and ears open for improvement suggestions, but let's keep our balance. Let's keep our balance. On that note, I would like this meeting forward. And to take this meeting forward, we have someone who joined us in the last 1 year. In the last 1 year, I must say, Medley has got a lot of talent, multiple talents we've got. And one such talent in our midst today is Dr. Ishwar. Dr. Ishwar, just before COVID, he managed to get his doctorate. Am I right? Yeah. So, true to someone who is seeking truth, which scientists do, Doctor, I find in him a certain humility, a certain down-to-earthness, and a certain openness, which is very refreshing. He is also a very highly contributing member of the XCOM extended team. And the XCOM extended team, is the area from where we will have future leadership coming. So in that sense, we are very happy to have someone like Doctor as part of us. And today he has thrown in a very interesting line. Whether it is romantic or tragic, soon we will know. It says, leave your darling. The darling part raises a lot of romantic possibilities, but the verb involved in that has me a little worried. I will hold on to hear it from Dr. Ishwar. Dr. Ishwar, for you.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for your warm introduction and also giving a hint of the theme of the day. So, as a TMOD, before getting into the explanation of the actual proceedings of the club, let me introduce a theme which has been already mentioned by Thomas. Leave your darling. So, before explaining it, I would like to have the opinion from the participants. So, what is darling according to the participant? Any opinion, any views, mind? What do you think when you see darling?
Darling.
Something which is close to my heart. I mean, someone or something. It can be anything. Yeah.
Okay.
Lovable.
Okay.
It can also be a passion.
Okay. Okay. So now when we say darling, so we have an immediate attachment. We are saying we are immediately getting connected with someone or something or anything that we imagine or anything that gives us some kind of love or comfort or something that makes us better. That is a darling we really think of. So before letting me actually explain what is the concept behind this theme, I would like to pose this question. Let me share my screen. So, can audience guess what is the next number in the sequence and what is the rule that we follow? Any answer?
10.
No.
10.
10. No. It's not 10.
16? Is it 16?
No. Anything? 8. 8 is already there in the screen. What about the next one?
Is it 64?
No.
9.
Is it
Yeah.
0 again?
I think 9.
9.
9 is the right one. Can you explain what is the rule behind this number 9? How you chose that number? So the idea here is, yeah.
3 is
There
missing
anyone?
here. So I thought 3 multiples of 3.
There is a slightly different opinion here. Actually, the thing is, if you quickly have a notice, you can find all the numbers are increasing. So the idea here is the number should increase. It can be, so the next number would be 9. That is the idea. So one thing what we have in our mind, one thing that most of the participants thought is 10. Why so? Because each one is an even number and it is divisible by 2. But the thing here is, I didn't mention like I put it as even number or I didn't mention anything. So we have our beliefs, we have our thoughts, which we fundamentally attribute to something, and we eventually go into the thought process of that one. We don't have any disconfirming evidences that will shake up those beliefs. So those are the darlings which I would imagine, which I would say. So if you take this bowl of water where the fish is usually residing, that bowl of water can be anything. It can be a person or thing or a belief which we fundamentally get attributed to, and we are sticking to it without our consciousness, or by in our subconscious mind we have these beliefs which we won't let it go after. So this leave your darling is nothing but the coming out of your comfort zone. That is one way of saying, or in other words, think in an unconventional way. So the ambiguity involved in this topic can be thought in many ways. So I personally had this in my mind, and this bowl of water can be anything that is left to the participant and the speaker. So I have given a few choices to the speakers and their role players to think about this topic. Let us discuss on that. Now, before going into that, let me explain the proceedings of this entire club meeting, how it's going to happen. So basically, we are going to have 3 sessions. That is basically a prepared speech session, and then is an table topic session, and finally we have an evaluation session. This prepared speech is basically an education session where each speaker would have invested their time and come up with different engaging topics, and they will present their ideas in a span of 5 to 7 minutes, and each one have their own evaluation, which will be happening in the evaluation session. This table topics section is nothing but an impromptu speech section. So it's like we want to do cooking, and if we do it with some assistance, then it is kind of a prepared speech where we have our mentors, we get some inputs, and this impromptu is like we are suddenly posed with a question and we have to answer within a span of 1 to 3 minutes or something like that. So in both compared to the so table topics will be something like on the spot or on the moment spontaneous session, whereas prepared speech is kind of very much engaged, and it will be educative as well as we will be having a funny moments as well. And this evaluation is nothing but we are going to get the positive inputs, recommendations, as well as the way we want to improve and what we left off. So this evaluation is going to be the evaluation of speeches, table topics, as well as the general evaluation of the entire meeting. So considering the weightage of this evaluation, we have our general evaluator Ranga. So he is going to anchor this evaluation session. To say about him, he's I would say the enthusiasm that he shows when it comes to the club activity and being a part of a ETSCOM, and the way he anchors everything what he comes to his part, that really serves as an inspiration to me, where I would suddenly like to relax, and whenever I see him I feel like, okay, I need to work. That's the kind of enthusiasm and inspiration he is spreading to the entire club. And when I post the image, that is this image of how he thinks about how he relates the theme with this image. So his thing is like, as I said earlier, he's searching for something, and whenever he goes on a search or whenever he's on a quest, he needs to leave his darling out. So that is his view on the theme of the day. So now, Thomas, could you please brief about your general evaluator role and the team that assists in that? Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Ishwar. Good afternoon, Toastmasters Ishwar. Good afternoon, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I'll be playing the role of the general evaluator for today's meeting. For the benefit of guests, my role is divided into 3 parts. One is to introduce the tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian, who will make all the qualitative assessments about each speaker. Second is to call upon the evaluators for their respective reports. And finally, I shall give my evaluation to the overall meeting. Having said that, let's move on to the role of the tag team. Today, the first member is Raghunath Mishra, who will be playing the role of the timer. We all know him as Raghuban, and he'll be the timer for today. He wanted to be introduced as a family man who believes in simple living. He enjoys travel, to be with nature, and listening to soothing music. He is an application support specialist in Flex. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghu. Hello.
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 Yeah.
Could you explain the role of the timer, please?
Yeah. Sorry, there was technical glitch. Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Today, I'm playing the role of timer. As a timer, I will keep track of the timing taken by all the speakers, table topic speakers, and the evaluators. And for the interest of the guests and those who are new to this meeting, let me explain you about the time limits for all these speeches. for prepared speech, the minimum time limit is 5 minutes and the maximum time is 7 minutes. And and I will show the green color. I mean, my background color will change to green when the minimum time is achieved. Then after 6 minutes, the background color will change to yellow, and the maximum time it will become red once it reaches 7 minutes. And there is 30 seconds to complete your speech. And there will be a small buzzer whenever there is a change in the color of my background, like this. It won't disturb. Now coming back to the table topic speakers, the minimum time is 1 minute, and the warning time is 1 minute 30 seconds, and the maximum time is 2 minutes. And there is 30 seconds for you to close the speech, and the background color will change accordingly from green to yellow to red. And coming to the evaluation, the allocated time is 3 minutes, and the background color will change to 2 minutes when it becomes, background color will change to green once you reach 2 minutes, and it will change to yellow once it becomes 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the maximum time it will become red once you reach 3 minutes, and you have 30 seconds to complete the speech. At the end of the speech, once I called upon by the evaluator, I will share my report. Over to you, General Evaluator. Meantime, I'm just logging out for a moment, and I'm again re-logging in. So I have some technical glitch, not able to share the screen.
Sure. Thank you. Next up is Toastmaster Sharanya, who will explain to us the role of our counter. She works at Fidelity Investments, has a natural fondness for technology. She's ever smiling and a helpful person. Thanks to the pandemic, she's spending a lot of quality time with her parents. Over to Toastmaster Sharanya to describe the role of our counter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rangarajan. So, good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. So, the purpose of an counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and er. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, and this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sharanya. Next up is our DTM Thomas T. Abraham, who will be playing the role of the grammarian. For many of us who know him, he's a gentle giant. He takes care of most of the activities in Medley Toastmasters and is ever passionate in helping people. With that, I hand it over to Toastmaster DTM Thomas T. Abraham to explain the role of grammarian.
Thank you very much, Ajay. My role as grammarian is the traditional one of being on the lookout for good expressions and not so good expressions, and to report them when I'm asked to do so. Over to you, Ajay.
Thank you. With this, I hand this over. The next session will be the evaluator session, and I'll take care of that a little later after the table topics. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ranga. Thank you for introducing everybody. Now let's go on to the education session, or formerly known as the prepared speech session. So this time we have 3 speakers. To start with, the first speaker is going to be Toastmaster Amita. Before introducing her, let me have her evaluator Dinesh to introduce the project objectives. Toastmaster Dinesh, can you introduce his project objectives?
Yeah, TMOD. Toastmaster Amita is doing her path motivational strategies. She's doing level 1, project 3, researching and presentation. The purpose of a project is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Dinesh. So Toastmaster Amita, so one thing which I personally like in her is the topics she learns, or the subject, that is basically the psychology. She's a psychology student, and her long-term goal is to become a TEDx speaker. And already I think she is in the right path of being in the Medley Club and going in the pathway of what she wants to do. And her views on the theme of the day is like when I shared her the image of what she thinks about this. So according to her, this leave your darling is nothing but breaking free. So that is just do what you want to. And let's see how she does her in her speech. So Toastmaster Amita, your speech is going to be the psychology of public speaking. Toastmaster Amita, psychology of public speaking.
Thank you, TM Modi. I would like to share my screen before I start my speech. Just a minute. Our ideas clearly and presenting them openly in a public forum is an essential component of success across several domains of life. A warm welcome to the Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Being a good public speaker can help you advance your career, grow your business, and form strong collaboration. It can help you promote ideas and move people to action on issues that can affect them directly and socially at large. To do any of these things, it requires a fair amount of standing in front of the audience and speaking. It requires giving in a pitch, an idea, or a body of work in front of a crowd. And sometimes, the only thing that stands between you and your audience is fear. Let us look into the fear of public speaking, or on the base psychology of public speaking. Glossophobia is a really cool and geeky word for the name fear of public speaking. It appears when you're performing or expecting to perform an oral presentation in front of other people. It is cited as the biggest fear of the people. Although it isn't the biggest, the fear of public speaking is very common, as 25% of the people experience facing it. While some people experience a debilitating form of glossophobia, even a mild form can have devastating effects. Glossophobia can prevent you from sharing ideas, and as a result, it can prevent you of how much you grow personally and professionally, and how much impact you have. At the same time, negative speaking experiences can prevent you from doing public speaking in future. Fear makes you protected and keeps you away from everything which is risky in life. Researchers has found that 4 reasons are contributing factors to glossophobia. It is not so much related to the quality of speech. It is in fact related to the acts, the feeling, the thinking when you are standing in front of public. The 4 factors are physiology, thought, situations, or skills. Fear or anxiety involves the arousal of a threatening stimulus from the nervous system. When confronted with a threat, our bodies prepare to battle. The hyperarousal leads to emotional experiences of fear, interfering with the ability to perform comfortably in front of the audience. Eventually, it prevents people from pursuing opportunities for public speaking. Some researchers suggest that there are people who generally experience higher anxiety levels, and thus it makes them more anxious towards public speaking as well. Some people experience what researchers call as anxiety sensitivity, or the fear of fear itself. Another factor that involves people's belief about public speaking and about themselves, about what they think about themselves as speakers. The fear arises when people overestimate the stakes of communicating their ideas in a crowd, viewing the speaking event as a potential threat to their credibility, image, and chance to reach out as audiences. Negative views on oneself as a speaker, saying I'm no good at speaking, I am boring, can also raise anxiety. There is something called the performance and communication orientation. Performance orientation is seeing the role of the audience as judges. And communication orientation, the main focus is on expressing the ideas you have to express. However, when the focus shifts from being heard to being understood to being evaluated, the anxiety level rises. The third is based on the situation. in the situation where you are supposed to speak. Sometimes fear just comes from the situation. Depending on how over or under prepared you are, whether you are being evaluated or not, or simply whether you know your audience or not. Anybody in a friendly atmosphere can possibly do better in front of an audience they don't know at all. Or to a few people, it can also be like they are just strangers and that they are not going to listen. They're not going to listen to your speeches, or they're not going to look at you ever after. And finally, there comes the skills. It also depends on how skilled you are in that area. When people consider themselves as naturally good speakers, they see themselves that there is room for growth. And the best person to give this example is our President Thomas D. Abraham, a skillfully grown person and a person who helps others grow in their area of public speaking as well. Increased competence can also lead to increased confidence. And there are several tips for overcoming the fear of public speaking according to Dale Carnegie. So which says you have to practice multiple times, have something to say at all times, expect success, be absorbed in your subject, and so on. So what we have to learn from this is that we can only learn if we are forced to step into the limelight. So on this note, we can do things well and we can do things which we happen to mess up sometimes. But the outcome is the strong effects on the way people think of us. So this is why public speaking causes anxiety and concern for most people. More than 25% of the people I meet are fearful towards public speaking, not because they're not good at it, and not because they have the content, or not because they failed before. It's just that it's the fear of judgment on the baseline. And I think the fear of public speaking only comes from the fear of judgment and the fear of embarrassing themselves in front of a crowd. The fear of public speaking can be overcome as you take up more opportunities, as you go to places, as you talk in more places. Toastmasters is one place where your public speaking skills are found from scratch and is increased throughout, and it's going to help every person who walks into the Toastmasters forum to become better in whatever they're doing. So at that note, I wish to say that we can do well and sometimes we can do bad as well. And the outcome strongly affects the way people think of us. This is why public speaking causes anxiety and concern. The good news is that, however, with preparation and practice, you can overcome the fear and perform exceptionally well in everything you do. Sometimes the only thing which is standing between you and your audience is fear. Let us take this opportunity to use the psychology of public speaking to overcome and bash out the fear and do good in everything you undertake in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amita. Can you please unshare your screen? Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Amita. So I hope in psychology being applied to public speaking, we require preparation and patience. And then now let's move on to the next speaker, Pranav. So let's ask the evaluator, Shyamala, to read the objectives of Pranav's speech. Shyamala, can you please read the objectives?
Thank you, Team Modi. So good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests. Toastmaster Pranav is giving a speech from the Pathways Manual Leadership Development, Level 3, Project 3, focused on the positive. One second. I thought he was the third speaker. One second. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice being aware of his or her thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact of his or her responses on others. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share his or her experience completing the project. Timer, please note that the time is 2 to 3 minutes. All the very best, Pranav, and over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you, Shyamala. So Pranav is a sales professional and he is currently also pursuing a PG in data science, which is a hot topic. And coming to his view on the theme of the day. It's basically he wants to come out of the comfort zone whenever he hears about leave your darling, and the speech is going to be positive. Thank you, Pranav. You can start this.
Thank you so much, TM Modi. Ishwar, can you confirm if you're able to see my PPT?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for your introduction. So my project today is more about focusing on positive. So that's the symbol here, always be positive. So some of the objectives of this is, the first thing is to record the moods and my attitudes for the last 2 weeks. The next one will be to see what are the effects of this in my behavior and also to those around me. And finally, I will be evaluating these changes and make a note of all the takeaways that I got. Now moving on to this, in week 1, so what I did was, since I started off, for a lazy fellow like me, week 1 started with a very negative note. So what went wrong actually during that week was, sometimes I am forced to do night shifts because of the nature of my sales job. So because of that, I used to procrastinate a lot in the morning, which is understandable, but also that carried well into the afternoon and the evening as well. So this was something that I noticed. It affected my attitude and I was not able to work properly on the next day. Now the effect of news. Now, do any of us like watching the news nowadays? It's all about suicide, about COVID, and only negativity filled. Never. That was something which affected my mindset and my behavior. Eating habits. During the night shift, since I'm at home, I'm tempted to eat a lot of junk food when everyone is asleep. Now, what does that do? That affects my work ethic and a lot of my productivity. Going into week 2. Now, all the negatives here. Now, you must be wondering what changed. Of course, the habits. Now, when I got up in the morning, I used to get up only at 10 or 11. But I started with doing meditation, listening to positive music that gave you good vibes and start off the day on a great note. And it worked wonders. And rather than whining about the negativities of COVID, saying, oh, we are stuck at home, we can't go outside, I thought, why not leverage the online and virtual platform to a great extent? Learn various things and upskill yourself. Eating healthy food. Now, this is something that I changed. I started having salads and fresh juices instead of chips and various other junk food. And I have to tell you, I became more sharp during my work hours. I was able to concentrate more, be more positive, because a sales job really snatches away a lot of energy and positivity from you. See, some of the important takeaways in this, there are 4 important takeaways, guys. So I'll just go very quickly. Gratitude, feedback, challenges, and goal setting. These are 4 things that are very important to keep you positive. And the last one is, what is the value proposition? Now in Toastmasters, if you see, you're never judged. You're never said, you're fired or anything. You're always given scope to improve. There is always constructive criticism in Toastmasters, guys. The thing is, there are people and evaluators to give you, but it is up to you to take it positively. There will be negative kind of feedback, but it will be constructive. And I urge all the new Toastmasters who have joined and to everyone to make good use of this wonderful platform and change your life. With that, I end this report and I hand it back to the TM Modi Ishwar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav, for your speech. Actually, there is a small dropout of speaker Raghunath. Due to some technical glitches, he was unable to join the meet. So let's move on to the other engaging session, which is a table topics. And that table topics is going to be handled by another young and energetic guy, Toastmaster Abhimanyu. Actually, we and I and him have a personal connect because we both joined the club almost at the same time. And his views on the theme of the day is going to be, he left his darling, which is nothing but the bicycle, and he went to Chennai right now. Right now, he went out of Chennai right now. So, Toastmaster Abhimanyu, can you please start your table topic session?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I will I will do the screen share now. 1 second. Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question is to Toastmaster Sudha. Is she here? Toastmaster Sudha.
Yeah, Abhimanyu, I'm here.
Okay, so your question is time and tide, wait for no one. I repeat, time and tide, wait for no one.
Thank you, Abhimanyu, for this wonderful topic. I am very conscious about time. I always insist my daughter to be conscious about the time management because time is the only thing which we not get back in life. The moment we missed it, cannot receive back. We can gain anything in life, but we cannot gain the second we missed in that life. So I'm very conscious about the time management and I plan my things accordingly uh, to keep the time management. So, so that's all, Abhimanyu. Thanks for this topic.
Thank you, Sudha. So
Mm.
coming back to the next topic, my topic to next person is Toastmaster Periasamy. Is he here? Toastmaster
Yes,
Periasamy.
Vimanyu, I'm here.
Okay, so your question is, when was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return? I repeat, when was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return?
Oh, thank you very much for the nice topic, Abhimanyu, Toastmaster Abhimanyu. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. This is a very nice topic. Actually, it's very difficult. Huh? When was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything in return? It's very difficult. Most of the people we used to help others by expecting something. Whether if we help something, if we do something, if we give something, whether they will give back. If we give this one and will they give this much? Like that, we used to expect. Most of the time, actually, I'm much interested in teaching others, like maybe my childrens or my office, maybe my colleagues or subordinates. Usually, when they ask for some doubts or something, without expecting something, whatever knowledge I know, how much they are able to understand, I used to teach with them. Actually, I that much patience I have to teach with them. I have time to spend with them. That is one thing. Actually, without expecting something from them, because we learned a lot from our teachers and friends. Without expecting anything from them, we learned. So likewise, whatever knowledge we know, very little knowledge, very little things we can share with others. That's important things. Then second one, it's like in front of the public, we should not say that. During COVID-19 situation, some of the people near my areas, some people who lived, they were struggling for the foods with the help of our areas of the society people. It's like counselor and the help of other people. We managed to give some money and we were able to help them in for the needy people. We were able to help them in food or giving some in terms of food. Majorly we helped in terms of food. Those things we could able to do. Actually, we even as a family, the whole family, myself and wife, we felt very happy when we helped them. That's the thing. I see that without expecting something, we helped. One is the teaching, the other one is the summarizing, other one is the needy people during the COVID-19 situation. At that time, when they are not able to come out of the houses, and they were in the needy situation, we helped. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to Toastmaster. Table topic, Master. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Periasamy, for your sharing your personal experience with this answer. So, my next question is to Toastmasters Lavanya. Is she here? Toastmasters Lavanya.
Sorry, did you mention Lavanya? Voice is breaking.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Just
I'm here.
talking.
Yeah.
So your question is, the
Mm.
largest room is the room for improvement. I repeat, the largest room is the room for improvement. Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Abhimanyu, for this topic. This is very interesting topic, and this is one topic where that's the reason we are all here in Toastmaster Club as well. The largest room is a room for improvement. Improvement in every aspect makes us to groom ourselves. That I would want to share this thing. When we were young, when we used to read the encyclopedia, just go through the encyclopedia, we used to understand very few things. Then after 5 years, when you again go through the encyclopedia, you learn much more things. So as the age goes, as you start looking at the same thing again and again, you start understanding or learning much more things. So is the process of improvement. You could have done a particular thing, but you could always look for scope of improvement in every aspects that you do. Be it a smallest thing, be it cleaning the home, be it doing the work, be it any task that you do, right from getting up till going back to your bed. It's a thought that you should have for improvement every day. Improvement will definitely make you to groom to step up to the next level, to make you even in spirituality you can look up to for improvement. While you do meditation, keep thinking about what you have done, self reflect on yourself towards the end of the day, in what are the areas that you could improve. Every human being must inculcate this habit of improving oneself, and that will help you to learn a lot of things. So that's on this topic.
All right. Thank you, Lavanya. Thank you for your nice answers. So the next speaker will be Guest Kumar Mani. Guest Kumar Mani.
Yes, please.
Can you unmute yourself? So your
This is
question
Kumar, yeah.
is, the question is, it is better to have
Should I
love,
put the video on
love.
or can I speak on volume, voice alone?
It's up to you.
Okay,
It would
thank
be
you.
better if you turn on your video.
Okay.
So your question is this: it's better to have loved and lost than never
I
to
can't
have
hear
loved.
you well. Can you just repeat that, please?
I hope you are able to see my screen in case. Okay. So the question is,
Okay.
it's better.
Better to change an opinion
Sorry.
than to never to have.
No, sorry. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Steve Master. It's better to have loved and lost and never to have loved at all. It's applicable to anything that we are passionate about. You need to take the risk and a step forward and try to do something right. For whatever reason, if it doesn't happen, so what? But you've tried it out. If you've not tried it, you will never make any progress. And progress is nothing but being one step better than what it was before. So in today's life, this is the challenge that we have. We have so many fears that are there with us, and therefore we restrain ourselves to trying to take a step forward to attempt something new. In love too, as far as we're concerned, we have an expression of our feelings towards something, whether it's a man, matter, project, whatever it is there. You need to be passionate about it. You might win, you might lose, doesn't matter. But the fact remains that you expressed yourself in that particular area makes you feel that you've attempted something to be better than what you was before. And this is the basis in which improvement, like the earlier speaker said, you improve yourself because it'll be one improvement every day. And how do you do it? Is by trying it out and seeing where you are. Well, let's take the case of, for example, as a youngster, I was enamored by so many of my classmates. And there's one particular person whom I really would like to attempt to speak to them, but then she wouldn't accept it. And she wouldn't be approachable. But I said, one day, let me go and talk to her and see what is there. And then I did go ahead and speak to her. It turned out that she was not as snobbish as she surrounded and looked through, but it made me much better. And I realized that she actually has other interests, and many of them which are beyond our passion is actually things of common interest. We moved forward, and today, till date, she's a friend of mine. And that is the kind of thing that I'm talking about today. It's better to go ahead and try to express your love. Maybe you win, maybe you lose, doesn't matter. But in the end, you will always go ahead and be much better than what you were yesterday. And lastly, if you don't do anything about it, you will be like a stone. You'll remain as it is and no improvement, and there will be no way, no change onto it. But what's the purpose of that, isn't it? So it's better to have love and lost than to not love at all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kumar. Thanks for your wonderful answers. So with this, I move on to next questions. My next question is to Toastmasters Sundaresan. Toastmasters Sundaresan, are you here?
Yes, friend. Yes, Toastmaster. I'm here.
All right. So your question is, it is better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong. I repeat, it's better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong.
Yeah, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Can you all hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah. Sticking to our opinion is our favorite hobby and passion also for all of us, especially 50 plus. So changing our opinion is the most difficult thing, whether it's in the family or in the working environment. But for the sake of ourselves and for the sake of others' good, if we change our opinion, it will be good. And we have to accept that change. That also matters in our life. It's not the age that matters. For example, recently I was stubborn in one of the matter in the family, and my son, who is half age in me, he suggested me this will not work out, and there are other options to move ahead in life, staying in other places. So to tell the practically, my ego didn't allow me to accept that one. But halfway, after 2 months, we all decided that I'm going in the wrong direction, and I accepted and told my son, "Man, you are grown up, and what you said is right on the first day itself." Accepted. So it was for the sake of ourselves and for the sake of others. Changing the opinion is not bad. Is not a bad aspect. We have to change if we know we are not going in the right direction. The journey has to continue, but if a U-turn has to be made at the right place, we have to make the right U-turn for our safety and for others' safety also. Over to table topic, Master.
Thank you, Sundaresan. Thanks for your answers. My next question is to Toastmaster Siva. Toastmaster Siva, are you here?
Yeah. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So the question is, your topic is to err is human, to forgive divine. I repeat, to err is human, to forgive divine. Over to you.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests. It's a privilege to present this topic, and the topic is to err is human, to forgive is divine. So one thing I always believe is that as a human, we are not perfect beings. And I also believe that the perfection is the very lowest standard in the earth. I assume that no one could be perfect. So we are created in such a way, we are formed in such a way to evolve constantly and adapt changes and embrace changes with the whole heart. So there is always a chance for the fellow human.
Lost you, Toastmaster Siva.
Yeah. Okay. So it is always possible for a fellow human being or the co-worker, whoever you face on daily basis, to could make some mistake. It is our ability for a human being to adapt that and accept that human being. It's quite important. So that is the one. Is the way that we are able to have compassion to the fellow human beings, and it is quite important to express that ability and attribute as a way of life. Thank you, Toastmaster, and over to you, topic master.
Thank you, Siva. So with this, my next topic is to Toastmasters Rohit. Toastmasters Rohit, are you here? Toastmasters Rohit.
Abhimanyu, you are not audible. Can you be a bit louder or near to the microphone?
Is it fine now?
Better, but it should be a little bit more better.
Some noise
Raghubai,
is coming from.
Raghubai.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. Somebody's fan is keep on. The noise is continuously is there. It is very difficult. Somebody's fan is running.
Oh, sir, is this
They
audible?
never
Yeah,
unmuted
it's
also.
audible. Yeah, it's audible, Abhimanyu. Let's go.
Okay, my next topic is to Toastmasters Rohit. Toastmasters Rohit, is he here?
Hello. Did you
Okay,
say
so
Rohit?
my yes,
Did you call?
yes,
Oh, okay. All right. I'm here. I'm audible?
Yes.
yes, you are audible. So the topic is ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. I repeat, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. To you, over to you, Toastmasters Rohit.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, Rohit, please.
Hello. Oh, okay. All right. A very good afternoon. Thank you, Toastmaster Deputy Master Abhimanyu. A very good afternoon to all Toastmasters and guests. I do like this topic a lot because I have been reading this sentence quite a few times in the past few months. So I've always had very opinionated discussions with quite a few of my colleagues and my friends regarding this topic. We always have a very fiery debates or discussions when it comes to national interests and national security. So we do have a lot of friends who have a lot of problem on the way the direction the country is going and the way the politicians and political leaders are conducting themselves. So when they look into all that, most of my friends and colleagues, they do have a problem, as in saying the first thing that comes to their mind is what does the country do with all the taxes we pay? They're just wasting the taxes. So they have a lot of problems, they have a lot of issues, and they do crib and they have very unreasonable opinions and expectations from the politicians. You know, the politicians being politicians, we can't expect too much out of the politicians. So they do have a problem with it. As a reason, I keep telling them, reminding them, just keep doing whatever you have to do as long as you don't break the law, it is fine. So you keep paying your taxes, nothing wrong with it. But paying taxes is not a sin. It's not a crime. You keep paying your taxes. At least at some point you will realize that you haven't flouted the law. At least you're on the right side of the law. So they do have a problem with all this because they feel that all the efforts and energy is being underutilized and wasted by unwanted thrifts. So I do keep telling them, see, don't expect anything much out of the country. You just see what you can do for the country and don't expect anything. Don't expect what the country can do for you. So this is the crux of what I have been discussing and the crux of the debate. I'm a topic. Thank you. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
All right, thanks again, Rohit, for your nice answers. So I will move on to next person, that is Toastmaster Atiche. Atiche,
Hi,
are you
yes,
here?
I'm here. Atishay, yes. Hello.
Okay. Your topic
Yeah.
is Genius is 1% inspiration and 90% perspiration. I repeat, your topic is genius is 1% inspiration and 90% perspiration. Over to you, Toastmaster Atishay.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. When we think of a genius, the first image that comes to our mind is a person who is excellent at whatever he does. We think of a person who is popular, we think of a person who is known for the work that he has done. A lot of the times we end up thinking that, oh, this guy has such great genes. Oh, this guy was born with such great IQ. We keep telling ourselves that, oh, he had better opportunities than myself, or oh, he had rich parents, or oh, he was born in a first world country where he got better education. But the thing is, we found out about that one person who we call the genius only after he proved himself to be a genius. Most of the times, we do not know the struggle that went behind being labeled as a genius. That achievement of being a genius is only 1% of the story. The remaining 99% of the story is when that person tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed yet again, but did not give up and kept on perspiring, kept on working hard to achieve his goal. This is where a lot of us fail. Everyone is born with everyone, all of us humans are born with equal potential. We all have the potential to be genius, to excel, to be in the top 1 or top 0.01% in our fields. But the reason most of us are not able to make it that far is because we do not have the focus and the consistency and the determination to keep going and not give up. We Many of us try once, give up. Then some more people, they try twice, thrice, and then give up. But the person who keeps trying until he excels, the more he tries, the more he learns, and he is finally able to be called as a genius, be hailed as a genius, and then people begin to appreciate him. Again, it's all the result of 99% trying, working hard, blood, toil, tears, and only 1% is seen to the public as genius. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hey,
Hello.
hi, Atishay. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your speech. And with this, I will move on to next speaker. That would be DTM Sambat sir.
Sorry, it's a mistake. I'm sorry. There is Mr. Sampath, the new member. Kindly invite Mr. Sampath, the new member. Thank you.
Okay, so the next person would be Toastmaster Sampat. Are you here?
Hi, Abhimanyu. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. So your next topic would be, I would share my screen. Your topic is the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. This is a Socrates quote that I am quoting here. So I repeat, the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. Toastmaster Sampat.
Thank you, Abhimanyu. Good evening to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about this topic. The only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. Yes, as a human being, when we born to this planet, we know nothing. We know nothing. Literally, we know nothing. So as a child grows into adolescent, so we learn step by step everything from our parents and siblings and friends and the people surrounded by us. So slowly we learn one by one from the people. So until then, we know nothing. So once we started to speak, we learn from our parents. First thing I learned from my mother, then I from father. So it's going on. It goes on as a step by step. So once we started to learn everything, then we go to the school. Again, we're learning. We learn something. We learn something to study. How important is study is in our life. So this is also part of knowing. Knowing is just equivalent to learning something. So before that, like whenever we are into learning, so whole life journey is kind of learning. So until then, people we know nothing. Until you know something about the particular topic, we know nothing. Even before I joined to Toastmasters a couple of months ago, I know nothing about Toastmaster. So after I joined, I came to know, I admired this Toastmasters club as well. So I know at least something now. So really, that's what I have about this topic. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sampath. I hope you would gain some wisdom in Toastmasters Club, Medley Toastmasters. So with this, my next question is to guest Asa Marina. Guest Asa Marina, are you here? Hello.
I don't think she's there.
Okay, so the next speaker would be guest Thiruvengatam. Guest Thiruvengatam, are you here?
Yeah,
Can you
he's there.
unmute yourself? So my topic to you will be knowledge is power.
Yes. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Knowledge is power. Money or property or whatever we say is power is really not power. Actually, one person asked the other person whether it is the cash bank balance or the cash on hand or the shares or your properties or any other assets valuable. Which one of these is valuable? Then the other person said nothing is valuable. Then what else is valuable? That was the question. He said updated knowledge. So updated knowledge is always valuable than anything else. This is all I need to tell about this, sir. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Yeah, I have spoken, sir. Was it not audible?
Yes, yes, that was audible.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so my next topic will be to Satish, guest Satish Isak. Guest Satish Isak. Can you unmute yourself and speak something?
This is not available. Can you move on to the next?
Okay. So, any volunteers now?
Zakir here.
Venkatesan sir, would you like to speak? Hello. Did someone speak just now?
Zakir. Zakir.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes, Zakir.
Hey, hi, Jakir. So my topic to you would be, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. I repeat, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Toastmasters Jakir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my dear friends and guests. No one can make you inferior. That's a well-coined term. Yes, it's true. Each and every individual has an individual capacity and he owns it. And he has a face and he has an ego within him. He has an image made up of him. So until unless he tarnishes the image, until unless he defames himself, nobody can make him a defame. The quality of inferiority comes within. When we start not respecting our values, we don't fall into the trap of getting ridiculed by the society. Most of the times, people started feeling comparison. They start comparing with others. Sometimes we never compare with the people who are lesser than us. So generally, we used to compare with the people who are doing much better or in a superior way. So it inflicts the very big thing in our heart. It makes us to feel, yes, something you are inferior. Until unless we feel we are inferior, nobody can touch us. So that it's a conscious. Mind is nothing but bundle of thoughts. Similarly, each and every thought which gives you to make you superior and makes you a superior human being. Inferiority never blossoms on a mind where he thinks good about himself, start believing his faiths and start believing his strengths and start growing and improving upon his weaknesses. So that's what I feel. Until unless somebody touches you or somebody inflicts you, the inferiority doesn't touches you until unless you inflict a self inferiority complex. So it is nothing but your thoughts make you smaller to you than others. So I strongly believe it's you who make the image, it's you who show the image to the outer world. It is your mind which makes you superior. So inferiority nothing but others' mind, it's only your self-belief. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacques. Thanks for your wonderful speech. And with this, my next topic would be to guest Muthaya Venkatesan. Guest Muthaya Venkatesan. Can you
Yeah.
unmute yourself and say something?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. I got you. So my
Yes, please.
topic to you would be the change you wish to see in the world. I repeat, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yeah. Thanks for providing this topic. So I am very much happy for given this topic. So be the change I want to see in the world is this world should be very richest, very topmost country, India, as well as the entire world has to be dramatically changed. That should be fine, where we will get everything and everyone be happy, and each and everyone should accomplish their goal. So that should happen, and automatically each and every person goal is accomplished, then automatically the world will be in a happier position. We will see the happiest world, and there is no sad things. And so whatever the expectations, our fulfillment, that will be we have seen in the world. So each and everyone will be happy, and they will deliver their part with happiness. So that's what the change will come, because the happiness will come because of the attitude they want to change, the helping attitude. So each and everyone has to help. Even I was suffered so much yesterday when the older people, I have discussed about the older people and the older days. The older people are helped so much, and among the human being nowadays, even within the family itself, we are not helping or doing anything. We are all always getting fear. If you do something for someone, then we will be in trouble. So we don't want to put the surety. So that kind of attitude is here. So we have to avoid that. So the world should be with full of helping attitude that will help us to grow with happiness. Thanks for providing this opportunity. Thanks, T.M. Modi.
Thank you, guest Muthaya Venkatesh. And with this, my last table topic would be to see Venkatesan, sir.
Yes, Abhimanyu.
So I will share my screen, sir. So my topic would be a snitch in time saves 9. I repeat, a snitch in time saves 9. See Venkatesan, sir.
Yeah. To be honest, thank you for the nice topic, table topic master. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. The topic acts for me. Time is more important. It's snitch time. Last month, we had a problem in the bank. They made one changes. When my father was there, he put my nominee name as C. Venkatesan. Benkatesan is my original initials. But the bank manager put SON. We had a problem last week, myself and my wife went there. The amount is something around 5 lakhs. They said that they don't want to give it to me. I said, my father is no more. I have submitted my father's death certificate and mother's death certificate also. The nominee, they put my name. This is the person, the clerk who wrote the name as SON. It's a mistake only, not my mistake. Sir, can you give it to me? They said that, please write a letter to the Deputy General Manager of IOB head office, and then they will approve that with the attachment of your Aadhaar card and other things and all. On that time, I thought that it's a small mistake. Instead of A, they put O, the person, the clerk, the bank clerk who put O. On that time, my father or my mother never checked about the nominee's name correctly. The spelling, is it written correctly in the bank application form or not? That's why the problem is there. The small problem, A or O, one letter made a lot of work for me. I had to get the affidavit from the local advocate and Aadhaar card, driving license, and my company's details and other things. Though they have collected all those things, and they said that this period is pandemic period. Come back to us on September 1st week or second week. Then we will think about all these things. We'll finalize all these things. That is why I thought snitch in time. If it would have been corrected on that time, either from my father or my mother, now it will be saved. Thank you for the nice topic, table topic, master. Over to you.
Thanks, Venkatesan sir. Thanks for your quick real life experience. So with this, I will be ending the table topic session, and I will hand over to TMOD sir.
Thank you, everybody. So it's really good to correlate the proverbs we heard long time ago with the real world incidents from the fellow Toastmasters and guests. So right now, let's move on to much more constructive as well as a kind of an improvement session, which is an evaluation session. Right now, we heard speeches from which is prepared as well as an impromptu speech. Now we'll get the feedback, recommendations, and the scope of improvement in all aspects. To anchor this session, we have our general evaluator and the most enthusiastic person, Ranga. So Ranga, you can take over the stage.
Thank you once again, Toastmasters of the day. Yeah. Now we move to the second segment of the meeting, which will be the evaluation session. Today we had only two speakers. One is Toastmaster Amita, and the other one is Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Dinesh will be the evaluator for Toastmaster Amita. To introduce Toastmaster Dinesh, he is a master's in business administration, and he is climbing up the ladder in the construction industry. He was a treasurer of Medley Toastmasters Club for 2 consecutive terms. And he was a hardcore Milopodian for 2 decades before shifting his loyalty to Sholinganam. He will now evaluate Toastmaster Amita's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rangarajan, for the warm welcome. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Amita spoke a beautiful topic on how public speaking impacts us on our daily life. Since she's also a psychology student, it's very important for us to have a keen ear on what she has to say about what public speaking is. And here we go into her speech. She tells about the 5 W's and 1 H of public speaking: what, when, why, where, and who. Her speech is very much organized, like perfectly. In the opening, she clearly defines what public speaking is. And in the body, she tells about what are the fears people have about public speaking, why people avoid public speaking, and how and all are the people being interacted with other people, and how interactions can take place very badly in public speaking. And finally, she has a very good conclusion to summarize it by saying these are the tips and techniques you have to take so that you can overcome your fear of public speaking. So kudos to Toastmaster Amita, because she ticked the first box in the manual of researching and presentation, that is an organized speech. And the second, she has given clear sources and citations for the references which she has mentioned. For example, she says that the fear of public speaking, which is claustrophobia, is among nearly 25% of the general public. And also, people are very afraid of being judgmental, and it is present in more than 50% of the people. So she has clearly said about where these quotations are from. And so again, she has ticked another box of this researching and presentation manual. The topic which Toastmaster Amita showed is on psychology of public speaking, as you all know. But the topic by itself, there are a few recommendations which I would like to give it. The first is the vocal variety. Throughout the speech, it was quite monotonous. She could have used a tone up and down some places. For example, when finally she was ending a speech, instead of saying preparation and practice can overcome fear of public speaking, she could have paused for a second for like preparation and practice can overcome the fear of public speaking. That would have created an impact on us. Because the speech was monotonous, some people may get a little bit fidgety. And also, Dale Carnegie, since she quoted, Dale Carnegie always says that the first sign of a good speaker is enthusiasm. But today, Toastmaster Amita was a little bit low on enthusiasm. She usually comes out very hard because enthusiasm is very contagious. The enthusiasm gets transferred to the other person as she speaks. Maybe it was a bit nervous, but Toastmaster Amita can generally take it as a recommendation and she can apply into the next speech. My summary of the speech is that Toastmaster Amita rounded up the public speaking aspects very well, and I'm looking forward to your next speech, Toastmaster Amita. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh. That was an excellent summation. Next, we have Toastmaster Shamala, who will be evaluating the speech given by Toastmaster Pranav. Toastmaster Shamala is an effervescent and an extrovert. She's just getting into the workforce after graduation. She believes in living life to the fullest. If only she could find the coronavirus, she swears she will beat it up to pulp for confining her indoors all along. Over to Toastmaster Shamala to evaluate Toastmaster Pranav's speech.
Toastmaster Rangarajan. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, honorable guests, and particularly Toastmaster Pranav. The main purpose of the speech was being aware of his or her thoughts and feelings and to present it before us. There, you did a great job, Toastmaster Pranav. I loved how the transition went from procrastination, negative news, junk food, to change of habits, benefits of being at home, and eating healthy food. I could see that you were aware of your thoughts clearly. You also mentioned how the transition of your thoughts and change happened in a crisp and clear way, and what was the groundwork which you had to do when the change happened. Week 1, week 2, perfect and crisp. You also touched upon the positive criticism aspect of Toastmaster, which adds up to productivity, and I loved how you explained about it. You are a confident speaker and you appeared comfortable with the audience. But I have a few recommendations for you as to how, this could have been a great speech. So first, I personally thought that there was too much information in PPT, particularly the slide where there are 4 components, gratitude and etc. And we did, as an audience, when this happens, we are confused as to should we read the PPT or should we listen to what you're saying? So there, our attention gets diverted. So I think we can avoid that. And point number 2, I felt that the pace of the speech should have been better. I personally thought that you were speaking a little fast. It looked like you were in a hurry to complete the speech. Maybe when you speak in a very slow manner, it gives the audience the time to absorb what you're saying. So that was missing today. And second and the most important part of your project was that you were required to touch upon the impact of your response on others and share your experience after completing the project. Now, there was no mention of this in your speech or the report or the PPT. This would have added a tremendous value to your speech, is what I felt. And the title could have been much better. There was no connection to your content and the title Be Positive. So if you had taken care of that, I think, it would have been a great thing. So overall, to sum up, it was a great speech with a few recommendations here and there. I'm sure you'll do a great job. So looking forward to your future projects, Toastmaster Pranav. Thank you, and over to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Thank you so much for that wonderful evaluation, Toastmaster Shamla. Now we move on to the to the qualitative assessment, the tag team. I'm going to be calling out each tag player to read out the people who have qualified, and then we'll move on to the R counter and the grammarian. First up is Toastmaster Raghu, who will be telling us about who has qualified for the speeches and the evaluations, as well as read out the individual timings for each contestant.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So to start with the prepared speakers, today Toastmaster Amita took 7 minutes 17 seconds. Toastmaster Pranav took 3 minutes 20 seconds. Both are qualified. Coming to the table topics section, I will read first the qualified speakers, and at the end I will share the non-qualified names with the time they have taken. To start with, Toastmaster Periyasamy, 2 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Lavanya, 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Kumar Mani, 2 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Sundaresan, 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Sivaradha Krishnan, 1 minute 29 seconds. Toastmaster Atisha 2 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Sampath, 1 minute 37 seconds. Guest Tiruvenkadam, 0 minute 42 seconds. And guest Toastmaster Jakir, 1 minute 58 seconds. Guest Muthia, 2 minute 5 seconds. And Toastmaster Venkatesan sir, 2 minute 15 seconds. Now coming to the other Toastmasters not qualified, Toastmaster Sudha, 0 minute 49 seconds. Toastmaster Rohit, 2 minute 51 seconds. And guest Tiruvengadam, 0 minute 42 seconds. Now let's move to the evaluation section. For the evaluation, both the evaluators are qualified. Toastmaster Dinesh took 3 minutes and Toastmaster Shamala took 2 minutes 43 seconds. With that, I hand over the call to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. And next up is Toastmaster Sharanya, who will be giving us a full evaluation on the R counter. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rangarajan. So, here is the counter report. So, starting from the speeches, Toastmaster Amita took one pause, and Pranav, it was a clear speech. Regarding to the table topics, Toastmaster Sudha, she used repeated words like cannot and there was a single pause. And Toastmaster Periyasamy used repeated words like and something. And there was also he used like 2 times. And Toastmaster Lavanya, 3 times she used And guest Kumar Mani, it was a clear speech. Toastmaster Sundaresan, it was a clear speech. And Toastmaster Shiva, he used 2 R's and was repeated multiple times. And Toastmaster Rohit used so twice and I was repeated multiple times. Toastmaster Atishay, it was a clear speech. Toastmaster Sampath, there was 3 R's and repetitions until was repeated and there was a single pause. Yes, Thiruvengadam, it was a clear speech. Toastmaster Zahir Hussain, it was a clear speech. Yes, Muttaya Venkatesan, there was 3 so's. In Toastmaster Venkatesan, it was clear speech. Moving on to the evaluators, Toastmaster Dinesh had 3 R's and Toastmaster Shamala, it was a clear evaluation. That's pretty much from an accountan's point. Over to you, Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharanya. Next, we move on to the role of the grammarian, DTM Thomas T. Abraham.
Thank you very much, GE. Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and guests. First of all, I must confess to not having been able to do a good job. I've had a couple of preoccupations, honestly, and only Amita's speech I could really spend much time on, plus the evaluations. I'm sorry for that. I also could not give you the word of the day. It is no compensation, but let me say this, that some of the interesting words I came across today and expressions were glossophobia. The core of the topic was caught in such a, such a demonic word called glossophobia. It's a very onomatopoeic kind of word. It oozes every bit the sense of what it conveys. Then it was correctly described as a geeky word. A geeky word. Again, another very, very expressive term. It reeks. It has all the meanings embedded there. Then we had words like debilitating, devastating. Then there was something else called arousal of threatening stimulus. Every bit psychology and enzymes at play. Arousal of threatening stimulus. Then we had someone saying a smallest thing. A and smallest don't go together. It's singular. Then someone else very interestingly talk about opinionated discussion. Double layered, beautifully captured. It's so self-contained, you don't need to say anything more. Opinionated discussion. Then some same person said right side of the law. Very well put, as when you're on the right side of the law and the wrong side of the law. Very, very graphic, very, very expressive, I thought. Then someone else said he has great genes. Great is a simple word. Genes is a very basic thing. But great genes becomes very meaningful. Then blood, toil, and tears. One of those triads that works very well. Then we had, very correctly, one of us was described as effervescent and enthusiastic. You'll agree there are no two claimants. There's only one claimant for that, and I don't have to help you guess that. So these were the interesting terms I came across. I only want to give one thought. Half of Tamil Nadu has this problem in Toastmasters. And that is, I couldn't be able to. Somebody says, I couldn't be able to. You only need one of the two. Able is. Hello. May I request
Abhimanyu, could you just mute?
Mr. Muthayan, who is could you all mute yourself, please?
You muted him, sir. You can continue.
Thank you.
Muthiah, can you please mute?
Okay, I was saying that I couldn't be able to. You only need to say one. I couldn't go, or I was not able to. And with that, I will hand over back to the GE. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DTM Thomas Ibrahim. Now I will go on to to evaluate the session today. It was seamless from the beginning, the Sergeant at Arms and the rest of the meeting. Unfortunately, there was a dropout which gave us a lot of time. And Abhimanyu, Toastmaster Abhimanyu did an excellent job in filling in the table topic session. And I wish to thank the table topic master, as well as the role players, the tag team, as well as the evaluation team for doing an excellent job. The only possible thing that I could think about was the lack of the word of the day, which robbed away some of the charm of the meeting. Other than that, I enjoyed this meeting. All the players did an excellent job. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Ranga. So this is going to be the end of the evaluation session, where we had the constructive feedback as well as we got some insights of how the good speech to be. Now let's move on to the call for vote, actually. So we have this voting session where votes will be given for the role players. Role players will be the TO Modi, table topic master and the tag team. And we have the evaluators and speakers. So sooner we'll get the voting link in that Zoom chat window. So everyone can vote and select the best one out of the lot. Now let's move on to the next education session. So already we had a prepared speech session, which is handled by these prepared speakers. So this is going to be one step ahead of that, which is going to be a education session over the pathways. So if you have heard, each speech has a pathway. For example, Amita has chosen researching and presenting in the case of presentation mastery. So we have different pathways. So on each pathway, how one has to master and one has to go ahead. This will be given by our pathway ambassador, DTM Sampath. So one common connect between me and Sampath is that we both are the alumni from IIT Madras. That I have recently heard of that. Another thing, what I have seen is he's much humorous in his speech, and as well as has an intellect and an educational vibe whenever he has a thought and whenever he conveys that. And his views on theme of the day is he always loves his darling, but it is often good to leave them also. That would make the relationship much healthier. That is his thought on that. Now let's go to DTM Sampath on his pathway guidance. And the voting link is also posted. You can start your voting as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters of the day and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So I'm going to share my presentation. Is the presentation visible? Are you able to see the presentation on the screen?
Yes.
The PowerPoint?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So having heard the tall tale that Dr. Ishwar was trying to weave about me, I should thank him for that.
Yeah.
And I should also thank people who have given me a little extra time, because I already requested my time may be closer to 20 minutes, but the VP Education could not put it in the agenda. So the technical glitch has helped me indirectly, I think. So the Toastmaster said that about each path I am going to say something. Of course, I will tell something about path, but it is a very big affair to be completed in 15 minutes time, plus the additional I have been asking for. So this is a pathway you can see on the top. This is the pathway, is the path to success. So what are we going to learn today? Let me be very clear from the very beginning, because a lot of training on pathways, unfortunately and unnecessarily concentrates too much on the navigational problems. I think some of the old timers, if they are not tech savvy and they have navigation, I can understand, but most of the newcomers are IT people, tech savvy people, they can easily sort out these issues. But a lot of training time is wasted. I am not going to use this for that. That can be individually dealt with. So what we learn is some insights into pathways, there are different paths and actually, and how to select your path and doing a project in pathways. In all of them, I'm going to dwell more on the principles rather than trying to take you through a series of screenshots, because I found in the last week more, my Wi-Fi is least dependable also for these things. So what is pathways? Most of you are aware, except probably one or two people who might have joined this week or last week. Pathways is the current basic curriculum in Toastmasters. This is a basic curriculum. There are some advanced things like you have got an accredited speaker and other things, but basic curriculum for a Toastmasters this. And it is a treasure of projects combining communication and leadership aspects to transform your personality. Why I'm saying this, the earlier system legacy concentrated too much on the communication aspects and the leadership was not so much addressed. So this has been largely corrected, and Pathways is a very seamless blend of these two aspects in different ways, in different paths and projects. So the paths, a path is a series of projects when executed by a member
think Sampath lost his connection. So,
Looks as though he's dropped out. We'll wait for a couple of minutes.
yeah. I think he came back. PTM Sampath, can you hear us? Sampath, you are on mute.
Okay. Now are you able to see the presentation?
No. Can you share your screen? No.
I am able to see it here. Okay. Let me again do the sharing. Are you able to see?
Not yet.
Not yet. You can switch off your video and try that.
Share it again. Huh?
You can switch off your video and try. That may increase the connectivity speed.
Yes, it's visible now, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, stop my video. Is it better now?
Definitely. So far, so good.
Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Path is a series of projects, as we are seeing, that will enhance the proficiency in a specific direction. Each path by its name means something. It is in a particular direction you want to develop your skills. They are devised different, slightly different directions, and by choosing a set of projects in a path, you are going to attain a proficiency in that direction. There are 11 paths as of now. All the paths, they have been built up on 5 core competencies. As you can see, public speaking is the first one, which has always been with Toastmasters, and then interpersonal communication, and then strategic leadership, the mode of leadership component coming, and then management. In all of these, in every effort you do, whether a project or a speech, confidence is a core competency which is there everywhere. There are 11 paths, as I said. These are the 11 paths. Most of you will be knowing. I will also be giving a link. You can go through this link and learn much more about each of the paths or the paths in which you are interested. Path structure. Every path has got 5 levels, 14 projects. 14 projects may mean more than 14 speeches also. And
I think Sampath has dropped. Let's wait for a minute.
now it's okay.
Yes, yes.
Now are able. Okay. See, level 1 has 3 projects. All are required for all the paths for everybody. Level 2 has got 3 projects, but there are a total of 8, from which 3 will be given by the path. You don't have a choice in that. Level 3 to 5, you have got required projects as well as elective projects. So level 3 has got 2 electives, and 4 and 5 have got 1 electives. Higher challenge and complexity as you go up in the levels. We'll see a little more about this later. There is another presentation of the same thing. You can see level 1 is called Mastering Fundamentals. The 3 compulsory projects are Icebreaker, Evaluation and Feedback, and Researching and Presenting for all parts. In level 2, there are 2 projects plus Introduction to Toastmastering, which is compulsory for you. Are you able to listen to me?
No, doctor, it's very intermittent. It's very intermittent.
What can we do?
Sir, maybe if you can share the PPT, probably I can share the PPT and you can just be in audio. That way it would be effective.
Okay.
So maybe I can share my email ID.
Okay, let's give it a try. Please try, doctor. Your audio is on?
Audible now?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
I am unmuted. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, doctor. Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So this is another. I'm going to share the presentation anyway with all the people who will request me. The level 5 has got reflection on your part as a compulsory one, and one.
I think it is better if you can postpone this session to some other day. We have almost lost 12 minutes now.
Yeah, doctor, I think it's not working.
Okay, I will send you the all the things, and next week another time we will plan it.
Sure, sure. Doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was also trying to do it on my mobile, but even that it is very slow.
Sure. Because
it is the same file.
Ishwar, please take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. So I think due to some unavoidable glitches, we may need to skip this session in a halfway, but it's fine. We'll get the presentation and we'll sooner have another session with the same topic, maybe in other coming weeks. So with this, we'd like to wrap up the insightful sessions which we had from the prepared speeches till the education session we have right now. So let me hand over the stage or the arena to Thomas, to the presiding officer, Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ishwar. So we had a testing time. I think these are ways we learn. It's like baptism by fire. Everything is not the best every time, but we survive it and still we come through. So congratulations to all the role players. I would like to just take a moment before I give you the surprise. Are you ready for a surprise? Because we are still within time. Are you all ready for a surprise?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, here you are. I don't know what he has in this box. There's a gentleman in black t-shirt with a black box. I don't know what Toastmaster Sharavanan will bring up for us. Over to you, Mr. Sharavanan.
Thank you, President. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what others say. Do you agree? It's sort of flattery when you answer correctly. Okay. So, based on the past 1 hour sessions, I have captured finer points told by the speakers. I have some questions on that, and please answers. First one, during the presiding officer address, their famous personalities' name were mentioned by the president. Do you recollect names? Please unmute and tell. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, you can play the record.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yeah. You want me to repeat the thing? During the presiding officer address, there were few famous personalities that were mentioned. Do you recollect those personalities?
I'm not attentive.
So many are on mute. On mute, please unmute yours and say the answer.
Yes, we can.
Shall I go to the next? If you want still the answers, or you want to tell the answer? Okay, I go to the next question. What the meaning of leave as mentioned by the TMO?
Sorry,
Can you hear me?
Exactly, sir. Toastmaster Saravanan, the important words are breaking.
Yeah,
I
it's
understand the
shocking.
sentence, but exactly that important words are breaking from you. Even for the first question, I remember our presiding officer mentioned about the Eskimo story, but I didn't know what you asked actually. I remember this. So now this, can you repeat this line, please?
Okay, thank you. So, section, the TMOD mentioned somebody as an TEDx speaker. Do you know who the person is?
Yeah, that Madam Toastmaster, she wished to, the speaker who wished to become, I don't remember the
Amita.
Yeah, that Madam Toastmaster.
Amita.
Okay. Okay.
I cannot hear you. Can you just raise your hand if somebody has said yes? Okay, I move on to the next one. There was one that was mentioned for fear of public speaking. What was that phobia?
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia.
Okay, very good. And what percentage of the people were impacted because of that phobia?
25%. 25.
Correct. Very good. Very good. And there were 4 factors that were mentioned as those. What are those factors?
Physiology.
4 factors of public.
Psychology.
Yeah. Situation skills.
I cannot. I mean, but if somebody has mentioned, can you give a thumbs up or something? It's correct. Okay, good. I can see Amita say something. Okay, that means it is correct one.
No, I asked if I can answer.
Okay, good.
If I can give you the
So
full answer. Yeah.
during the public speaking topic itself, there was one author who was mentioned as who gave the
Dale
public
Carnegie.
speaking for overcoming public speaking. Who was
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie.
Dinesh?
Dale Carnegie. Zakir here.
Okay, good. Dale Carnegie. And this speech, Pranav, 4 important points keep the positive. So all those 4 important.
I know one is gratitude. I forgot the rest.
The evaluator cannot say anything.
Evaluator doesn't remember other 3.
Okay, good. So can we move on to the next one? Toastmaster Sundar during his TT speech mentioned about one thing, that is changing the dash is the most important thing as you age. Changing the dash. What is the dash?
Opinion.
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 Very good. Opinion. Then do one of the TT speeches more of if genius is 100%, if genius is 100%, what are the words that contribute to those 100%? Percentage are those?
Aspiration.
99% perspiration, 1%
Inspiration.
inspiration.
And perspiration. Good. 1% and 9%. Fine. During our counter report, how many clean speeches? Because we always take pride in clean speech. So there were many clean speeches today. Means like many of the speakers have done very well.
Five.
Seven.
How many clean speeches were there?
7.
Six.
Sorry?
7. There were 7 speeches.
7.
6.
No, not 6.
2.
7.
Not. Okay, incrementally you can go, right?
It's 5.
8 is the correct answer. 8.
Okay.
So Saranya, you can confirm. I think I have no correctly then. Okay. Good. So during the during one of the slides, there was one mention about every path dash levels, dash total number of projects. What are those 2 dashes? How many levels? 1.
5 and 14.
5 levels. Good. How many
14.
number of
14.
14. 14 total.
14 projects.
Good. And then one slide is common for all paths in level 5. So for level 5,
reflecting on your path.
Project.
Reflecting on your path.
Reflection on your path. Okay. Yeah. Good. So with this, I am to the end of my suspense session. Now, but you have done well. Although I cannot hear most of your answers, but I mean most of you have answered correct. Thank you, and the President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saravanan, for taking on this. Yes, frankly, like I said, today's was a mixed bag. We've had technology not playing along, so therefore we did have interruptions. We had dropouts, but we still sustained, and we are comfortably ending with some questions that really tested our ability to recall. Allow me to close this session with one statement, which is tomorrow we have the opportunity to learn a little more about the judging process. We have what is called the Judges Training Program. Whoever plans to become a judge, and there's a lot of joy to be derived from becoming a judge. I can say that from my experience. Incidentally, Toastmasters is not a singular path. You have speech making, you have evaluation, you have mentoring. All of it put together is the joy that you get out of Toastmasters. Therefore, and secondly, in the past we used to devote all of half of day to go for this and pay for this and come back enriched. Now today, wear what you like and sit where you like or lie down where you like, and still you can enrich yourself. No cost to the domestic budget. Seriously, on a serious note, I would very strongly recommend tomorrow's session for whoever is serious about Toastmastering. I now have the pleasure of announcing the winners of today's voting. The best speaker is Toastmaster Amita, the psychologist. The best tag player is Toastmaster Sharanya, the accountant. The best role player is Dr. Ishwar. The best TT speaker is guest Zakir. I think Zakir is still around. And the best evaluator is effervescent, I don't remember the rest of it, Shamla. Right? So before I close this meeting, we still are on time. Zakir is the only official full-fledged guest today. Zakir, could you tell us, hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Are you there? So what's your short summary of the day with all the foibles and the failures that we had?
As usual, we can't tell about the failures, these technical glitches we had with Sambat sir's interview and his presentation. Rest, everything went well, went all well. A few of the glitches I can say as a general evaluator, many people who are there couldn't mute. It's a very basic decency that when somebody is speaking, we should mute our microphone so that everybody can listen to one person. Okay, it's a basic thing. So that was not maintained here. And somewhere the TT master also was looking for the names of people who are not there. So that could have saved the time. Otherwise, it was a wonderful session. That's what I can tell you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Zakir. So yes, I own up to extending the TT. I've sat through meetings, and I realized if you have no role to play, at least if your name is called for TT, you feel something. So we try to extend that benefit to everybody today, thanks to Raghu dropping out, thanks to heavy rains in Kerala. See, look at the butterfly effect. You know, what impacts where, and see, whoever got the last opportunity for TT got it because of rains in Kerala. Look at the connection. But still, I'm so sorry that we missed one or two of our members. So with this, I declare closed this meeting 5, 8, 2, closed, and open the chat box.
Hello, sir. So this is Shiva. So I just I have one query regarding the tomorrow session. Is it open for everyone, or is there any eligibility criteria?
No, there is no eligibility at all. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly simple, but I will warn you, everything has a subsystem, right? So there's a certain terminologies which you will take a little time to catch on. But otherwise, it's about judging process. Okay, thank you. I will, in which case I will even suggest to you, there is another one on Sunday next by DTM Nagaraj Rao. See, he is not going to teach us anything, but Ms. Sundaresh will agree with me. You know, they come with so many years of experience. So, you know, there are inspirational nuggets you will get. So if you are free, I would suggest that to you. And yes, Ranga very correctly pointed out, I forgot to mention to you, friends, please don't miss the next Saturday's meeting, 15th August. We have at least 2 visiting Toastmasters, DTMs. One of them is a former area advisor. Area comes above district. So, we are getting a few interesting people like that. So please don't miss it. Also, we will sing the national anthem together. Tell me, when did you last sing the national anthem together? When was the last time? We will sing it next Saturday this time.
Sure.
Yeah. And I would urge all of you to wear one or more of the national flag colors on you. One or more.
Should it matter that it is a formal dress, or we could even wear informal?
So long as it's dress and one or more of these 3 colors are there, you're fine.
Okay. Good.
So what else? Yes, Shiva, what's been your take so far? When are you getting into your speech making?
Yeah, I'm on that, sir. So I'm preparing for my ice breaking.
Okay.
And so I have received the form for the roles to be performed in the upcoming months, right? So I'm a bit reluctant. So whether I can, so it is covering the entire 2 months down the line. So I'm willing to do all the roles, but could you please guide me whether I will be up for the TMOD or because of the
No, I'll be upfront, Shiva. I'll be upfront, Shiva. If you look at it, there are 3 roles which are underrated. One is our counter. Today, Sharanya couldn't have taken a break the entire. So it's a new learning in listening that you will get. I failed today because I had to worry about some speech cancellation, etc. So I simply failed. So these are 3 demanding roles. I mean the R counter and the grammarian. Grammarian can be great help if you can catch people's mistakes. Same thing with R counter. So I would recommend you to take these 2 roles, and if you're okay with the timing device, take the timer role to start with. Others, observe so that you can do a better job when your opportunity comes. Second statement I have is, typically you have 4 speeches one day. You need 6, 9 role players when 4 speeches are made. So role players are equally important compared to speech making. On speech making, do you have a mentor?
So Sugandhi is my mentor.
Fantastic. And this is the story where you are the master. It's your own life story. So go ahead, draft it. I don't want to bore everybody. I just wanted to say a couple of things if I'm allowed to do this. Please don't state the obvious. A lot of people talk about their birth, etc. As some people say, on so-and-so day, a child was born. We know it's our story, right? So, yeah, you know what I mean. Secondly, what is special in our life we must bring. Many things happen in college which is very normal. That we can dismiss. So what makes us different? What shapes us? What shapes us? I think that is the psychographics, if we can let them into. Hello, doctor is back. Doctor would like to add on. I was telling Shiva about icebreaker.
Yeah, I would like to add on something. See, what I want to know about my technical problem. Once the sharing has stopped, I rejoined now freshly. There is no problem at all. Maybe my Wi-Fi is not able to take the load of sharing plus my continuing.
No problem.
So I will send the file to somebody and they can post it.
Yeah.
Okay, that is okay. Regarding Shiva's topic,
icebreaker.
I think Toastmaster of the day should take up only much later. It's not so urgent. Toastmaster of the day, you can do icebreaker. You learn all these things which our president has been telling you. Do it, and please consult your mentor very seriously for icebreaker also. Because icebreaker in pathways is not the same as the legacy system. You cannot come and simply give a speech about some aspect of your life. You thoroughly read the icebreaker, which is a 20+ page document, very easily readable, that PDF, study it and then discuss with your mentor with a first draft of your speech. Then from then on, you build up and then try to make a very good effort. From your first speech, you should make a mark. That is your motto. It's not like, okay, somehow I finished it, let me move to the next speech. Don't do that, because many people are doing like this in pathways, because even the old timers, they are not very clear about pathways. So you have got a chance now, and I am telling you, and our president also very nicely told you, it is a great opportunity for you. Make the best of it. And Suganti is a very experienced person, and being a very busy person, she will always find time for you. Don't worry about that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Sampath, Ms. Toastmaster Sampath, yeah, what's your plan?
Hi, sir. Good evening to everyone again.
Good evening.
Thank you, sir. I listened to your speech. I listened to Dr. DTM Sampath, sir, also. Just now, I also like in the stage of, I just recently joined, as you all know that. I'm also like, yesterday I submitted the form. As you suggested in the form, also suggested like, initially I can play a role tag players, example like our counter and grammarian and the timer role. So I have submitted the form yesterday. Also, I just selected one speech for that 1 month. I'm not sure whether am I eligible to give speech in September or October.
Yes, you are.
Okay,
yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But like doctor said, go through the motion correctly so that you get the benefit out of it.
That's correct, sir. Well, thank you so much.
Who is your mentor?
No,
I was about to ask
Toastmaster Sampath.
Yes, sir. Please.
Toastmaster Sampath.
Please, sir.
The initial month or two, regularly attend the meetings. Even as an observer, you will get a table topic chance. Don't think you should come only when you have role playing. You find some people have started this bad trend.
Okay.
They are absent when they are not having a role. Don't do that.
Okay.
Because you learn a lot by observing. In Toastmaster, we say you learn by doing, you learn by observing, and you learn by getting feedback. These are the three tools through which you are going to improve. So initially, attend some meetings even without a role, and then do tag roles, and then meanwhile, study the Toastmaster system. Go to the website. There is a treasure of information. 700 to 800 tutorials are there in English alone. So you can go and search there, find out about it. Meanwhile, start preparing your first speech, consult your mentor. Like this, you have to go. In the initial stages, you will have to put in a little extra effort. Once you come to a particular level, then you can take on from there.
Who is your mentor, sir?
Thank you, sir. Right now, I have not. I'm not sure, sir. Nobody assigned mentor. I just I want to ask you about the mentor.
No. I'm going to talk to Raghu.
Okay.
We have a
VP
session
will
today.
assign.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your advice. Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
I also, I'm sorry, sir.
VP will help you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sure. I also wanted to mention, like in the pathway, I already I received the email from the Toastmasters, so I already gone through the email step-by-step procedures. I already enrolled the pathway. There was a test, assessment. So I just gone through the test. So it was suggested me that this is what some recommendations basically.
Please ask your namesake now. He will help you.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
See, this was going to be part of the training today also.
Okay.
Don't be urgently taking the questionnaire and making your decision.
Okay.
Because you are not, see, they are trying to help you by doing a sort of psychometric testing, like your communication leadership metric testing. What is our background like this?
Yeah.
But we are not experts in answering these questionnaires. And we may think this is the right thing, or we may think this is what I am, but it may not be true also. So there is a more systematic way of doing. I have already sent the files to our president and VPE. He will share with you. There is a file how to choose your path. So first of all, I will tell you in 3 sentences, you have to find out about yourself as of today. You have to find out about your long-term and short-term ambitions and goals. And then you have to study the paths, all the 11 of them, and try to come to some idea. Then you take the test in that. It will be a much better way of doing it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your advice. But unfortunately, I did the test already. So it was suggested me the dynamic leaderships. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. So I have choose by.
No, there is nothing like something is right or wrong.
Exactly.
But something may be more suitable for your line of thinking and
Yes,
your
yes.
future plans. That is
Okay.
what we are trying to find.
Okay.
In fact, you can do all the 11 paths. If you have the time and the will and you got the wherewithal, you can certainly do that. There's nothing wrong.
Sure, sir. Thank you
And
so
many
much.
projects are common,
Mhm.
but even though they are common in different paths, you may do the projects in different ways also.
Mhm. That's right. Thank you,
Doctor,
sir.
you said you send me something in email, is it?
I sent by email, I
Yeah,
sent you
okay,
and
okay.
Raghu a link.
Okay.
My
Please.
Google
Okay.
Drive link, because the
Okay.
files are, one file is big.
Okay.
So you can download from there.
Sure. Yes,
There are
yes,
4
Mr. Sundaresh,
files.
where are you
Thomas,
with your
sir,
plans?
yeah, fine. For tomorrow's session, whether I have to register with you or directly I can.
No, there is. I had shown I had posted that in our group. You can
Okay,
register
sorry.
there.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
haven't seen.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me look into that one. Thank you. Thank you,
Sure.
sir. Bye.
Sure, sir. Ji, Raghu bhai, thank you. I spoiled your work. I didn't do. I messed it up because Raghu, your namesake was calling, no? So I was dialoguing with him. Then I got distracted entirely. I didn't come with. See, I must say this. Even tag role requires some mental makeup. I didn't come with that. Suddenly I plunged myself. I shouldn't have done that possibly. So anyway, so that's another thing. You need to fine tune and.
For all these things also consult your mentor. When you are doing the tag role also first time, before that consult your mentor, read something and you observe the other people. From all this you try to make the best effort.
Good.
Yeah, in fact, I forgot to share you the word of the day, which I have prepared, but somewhere everything.
No, I was a
messed up.
little upset. Last moment you call up and then people say they're dropping out. Frankly, I was a little upset. So that's when
It happens.
Yeah, but little more proactivity. I'm sorry. Among us, we must be truthful, no? Little more proactivity. If I've taken on a role, if I'm not able to come, I must call up.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, Shiva, everything.
Yes, sir.
Other than that, everything fine?
Yep.
Good. Yes, Sudha, hello. Sudha, madam.
Yeah, Thomas sir, tell me, sir.
What's your next project?
I have to do the evaluation of somebody's speech, sir.
Okay. Do it. Simple.
Okay.
Seriously. 15th may be difficult. 15th because we are getting 2 or 3 external evaluators. So why don't you ask Raghu for 22nd?
Yeah, I booked the slots for September and October. So it got finalized now.
Sure. But evaluation you may even get this month. Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Good.
Okay. Okay.
And who is your mentor? Oh, okay. Have a word with.
Renu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Evaluation. If you like, we can have a chat anytime. No issues. Good. And Mr. Muthayan, hi. Hello, Mr. Muthayan. Are you there? Okay, no problem. Last time there was one Alex. I was hoping he will give some response. No, nothing happened. It's okay. We'll have to learn not to get responses.
Hello,
Yes,
Thomas sir.
Yeah, I know. When Venkateshan was called, there was a confusion. You were there and Venkateshan was there anyway. It's fine.
Yes, sir. I was outside, sir. So...
No problem. We will close shortly. Not to worry. Okay. Thank you. We'll catch up. Right? Okay. Right then. See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Right on.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.